Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy. Dangerous.
Stinks. In one word, would I use dope? Nope.
All right, let's do this. Ads, baby. Ads, baby.
Okay. Yeah.
No, wait, let's do that again, man. Ads, baby. Ads, baby.
Okay. Yeah.
No, wait, let's do that again, man.
Ads, baby. Ads,
I don't
baby.
know. I'm fucking just trying to fucking get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't know why I can't figure this out, bro. I thought it's like every other time, right?
Before we get started, I am proud to announce that the Bogcast has officially partnered with Hempful Farms. These are products that I truly believe in and that I have been using for years now. Even Fabius and Gertie love their Paw Putty products. They literally have CBD for everyone. So if you want to save money when buying your CBD, just go to hempfulfarmscbd.com, use promo code BODCAST, and you will save 15% off when spending $35 or more, and you will get free shipping when spending $75 or more. So again, just use promo code BODCAST at the checkout and go to hempfulfarmscbd.com.
It smells hot. You smell it? Yeah.
Where the fuck is McClay?
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
You're a fucking noob. I've been waiting this whole time. I've been waiting.
You better not talk, motherfucker. I got a clip of your ass doing this shit. Just wait. I'm not including that. Fuck. Can we start over?
Dude, I love that song, bro. That song is fucking badass.
Well, the beat before?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it gets better when it kicks in after that set what do you call it? That warning?
Yeah, dude. It's so good.
So good. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Keith Obit, joined with my best friend, Bryan McClay. What's up, dog?
What up, brother? We got a lot of fun to talk about tonight, you guys. We have got UFO report where we're going to be talking about the little bit of an anniversary from when UFOs were messing with our nukes. And we've got some other fun stuff to talk about. And we got our comedy report, our stand-up comedy report, where we got a little bit interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Also, you guys come check out the Discord. If you guys want to call in, you guys can do so. The Discord is up. It is available. And all you have to do is join the stage and raise your hand. Let us know if you want to call in, and we'll bring you into the show.
Hell yeah. Like McClay said, we have the Bogcast Hour 1. We got some more comedy Mothership news. We talk about Redban's new club. And is Bobby Lee canceled? Now, look, I don't really prescribe into this canceling bullshit, but he did tell a kind of a fucked up story on the podcast a while ago. And some people are debating whether it's a joke, whether it's not a joke, something that I really want to get into. Also, Hour 2, that's when we'll be going over to the Rumble. If you are an exclusive YouTube member, you'll still be able to watch the show, or you can go over to Rumble and watch it for free. That's the, I guess, quote unquote exclusive content, or just pretty much avoiding the YouTube censors and stuff like that. We also talk about the Cannabis report, the Psychonaut report. We show each other funny comedy videos. But honestly, last week we talked about me taking my cannabis break, and I finally started that, and I would like to get into that in the second hour. So if I'm miserable this first hour, that's why.
I don't blame you, dude. I'm hurting right now from toothache, and I've got my RSO chilling right next to me. So I'm going to be taking that stuff heavy doses tonight.
Well, that's what I want to get into later. Is I'm such a fucking addict that I started off as just a smoke break. So I have been taking the RSO. So it hasn't been a total tea break, but I'm going to get to that at some point. So anyway, do you want to do the UFO news, or you want to do the comedy report first, or?
I want to get into the comedy report because I want to talk about this Bobby Lee stuff. This is very interesting.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get into a few things before that, if that's cool. First off, I wanted to ask you to guess of who you think my favorite comedian is of all time.
Well, for the longest time, I would have said Stephen Wright, but now I will say, what's his name that you saw there?
No, you're right, Stephen Wright for sure.
Okay,
actually, I just wanted to brag a
Louis,
bit.
Stephen Wright or Louis?
Louis, yeah, it's probably Stephen Wright or Louis. This is one of my prized possessions, dude. I met Stephen Wright in high school, and he signed it. Hi, Keith, forever. Stephen Wright. Or Keith, excuse me. Keith, hi, forever. Stephen Wright. Fucking badass, huh?
Yeah.
You know how weird it is to meet this guy in real life? Like, if you don't know who Stephen Wright is, he's very deadpan. You know, he looks like he's going to commit suicide at any moment. And he just tells, like, he doesn't tell, like, story jokes. He tells, like, just, I mean, it's probably like, yeah, but like one after the other. It's not like a 3 to 5 minute story that unfolds. It's like zingers, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes you don't catch them until like
that's
later.
What's crazy about it. Yeah, you're laughing at a joke he said three jokes ago. Yeah, you're playing catch up the whole time. Like, oh shit, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
The worst thing about seeing him live is he says so many amazing jokes. It's hard to remember them all. You just want to remember them all so you could tell everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But I highly suggest checking out Stephen Wright if you do not know him as a comedian. Hang on a sec here. I gotta get my share screen shit ready. So dude, I never expected this today. He fucking tweeted. Stephen Wright tweeted. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I had to click on it. I was like, is this really Stephen Wright, or is this guy wrote a book? There's a new book coming out. It says, hello there. I hope you're doing good. I'd like to let you know about my new book. It's called Harold. I wish you the best, Stephen. So you click on it. And it says, a uniquely humorous and deeply profound novel from legendary stand-up comedian that follows the thoughts of a 1960s third grader during a single day at school. It's like, what the fuck? He has so much interesting content out there. Like, he has, you know, DVDs, short films, books. Like, he's a super creative dude. So it doesn't sound intriguing, you know, like a day in the life of a third grader in the 60s. But from Stephen Wright's mind, it's like, fuck, I want to check this out.
I agree. It's like, what could this be?
He would be a fucking, there's like a Mount Rushmore of dream guests, and he's definitely on there, dude, for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Him and like Hamilton Morris.
Yeah.
So another really exciting tweet in the comedy world. I know we've been talking a lot about the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Joe Rogan's new club, and stand-up has just been fucking popping off there. But something that I came across, let's see, where's this? Another tweet that I came across the other day is Redban. If you don't know who Redban is, I mean, he's pretty much one of the OGs of podcasting. He started the Joe Rogan Experience. He's the producer of the Kill Tony show, which is literally the greatest comedy show in the fucking, if not the greatest show in the fucking world, in my opinion. I mean, it's 90 minutes of just straight fucking every Monday night. I mean, I can't give this show enough praise. But anyway, check out this fucking video that he posted, what was it, a few days ago, March 26th. This is badass.
Yeah, this blew me away when I saw this.
Guys, I'm happy to announce that I'm one of the new owners of the Sunset Strip Comedy Club, about to open here in Austin, Texas on 6th Street. It's going to be an amazing club. I can't wait for you guys to come check it out. We are having a soft opening next month, April 7th. At 8 o'clock, we're going to have a secret show there. Got a lot of huge surprises on that show. Tickets just went on sale at sunsetstripatx.com. Join us.
Dude, that's so fucking badass.
Yeah, that's so cool, man, that they're really digging in and making Austin something special for comedies, fans, and comedians.
Yeah, I wonder, like where its location is at, like, you know, compared to the Comedy Mothership.
Oh,
yeah. It's all on 6th Street, right? I don't know how big 6th Street is, but yeah, you got the Vulcan, you got I think Anton's went under now. But yeah, there's just fucking all these crazy comedy clubs in Austin, dude. It's like we gotta make a trip out there, dude.
You know, it's funny you say that. My buddy Big Leg, who is a co-host on one of my shows on Beyond Wednesdays, he's a big fan of stand-up comedy. He said that. He goes, "We all need to make a trip out there." I go, dude. Me and my buddy Keith really want to go, and you know, let's do it.
I'm down for that, dude. Because there's so much badass shit that we see. Like there's Kill Tony.
Your mic just fucked up. Yeah,
that was weird. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's Kill Tony. Like Redban does this thing called the Secret Show, where if he likes a stand up on Kill Tony, be like, hey, will you do the Secret Show Thursday night? And the Secret Show is usually just this fucking killer lineup. And then, you know, he has all these new up and coming comedians and stuff. And then you have the Comedy Mothership. I mean, there's really stand up every day. And that's not even talking about all the fucking music and all the other shit you could do on 6th Street, right? Like that's just the comedy. So
yeah.
Dude,
It'd be great to be down there for South by Southwest too. Just happened.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed out that the sound guy didn't get picked up for South by Southwest, but those fucking festivals are so huge that, you know, they can only take about 120, 130 films, but they get like 8, 9, 10,000 submissions and shit, right? So it's like competition's rough. But speaking of the Comedy Mothership, dude, I wanted to play this clip really quick. It's your boy Andrew Schultz talking about Joe Rogan's Mothership. I don't know if you saw this. This is pretty dope, dude. This is why the Comedy Mothership is going to be the greatest club in the entire world for comedy.
Which is actually a good transition to Rogan's club.
Yeah. What'd you guys think?
It was
awesome. It was awesome,
man.
Yeah. So I was there on Saturday.
Awesome.
I was lucky. Actually, my dad had an accident and hurt his leg, so I had to go back to Texas because my mom was in India. But I was back there, so I went to go back to help him out just before she could come. And I was happened to be there, and I was flying out of Austin. So I was like, "Hey, man, I'm flying out on Sunday." Like, dude, invited me to the club. Holy shit, it was awesome.
Great.
I've heard it was crazy.
It's great.
Yeah,
yeah. It's.
Hi, I'm Nicole from San
Diego. Me as an audience, I mean, you guys get to perform, right?
Yeah.
Like, I actually get to like take it in and be with the audience. Man, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's just like the Comedy Store.
Just really quick, his stash has to go.
I know, it looks so dumb.
So horrible.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing. Okay, first of all, I was like very against Austin being a possible comedy city.
Interesting.
I just didn't think the math worked out. I was like, there's like 300,000 people. Now I think there might be like 1 million people live in Austin. It's like
Metro
blowing
area.
up. But like,
you want to pull that up?
Initially, the
Austin
population
metro
density just wasn't there, in my opinion, for what I thought would be there, right? And then an interesting thing happened. Like,
oh wow,
what is it?
2.2 million.
So this is crazy, right? Now, interesting thing happens. Austin has 2 million people. It has no professional sports teams.
Yes.
I don't consider the soccer team like a professional
UT
sports
is
team.
massive.
Well, but it's not professional.
Yes.
It's a college team.
Yes.
That's fine, but not professional. The only professional sport they have is comedy. Comedy has become the professional sport. Now, add on the fact that there is already a culture of going out to listen to music.
Yeah, live music.
That is how people party. That is
Right.
how people, you go to the bar, you listen to music. It is normal for them.
And it's always been that way.
And it's always been that way. So it's normal for them to just go out and indulge in live entertainment. You don't have to like train them that that's part of their life. There are some cities where you have to train them. There's a reason why the comedy clubs right now in New York, right? You have the Comedy Cellar, we have the Village Lantern where we were performing at. They're all in the same area. What else happens in that area? There's live entertainment.
Right.
Right. And so when people were going for live entertainment,
that
well,
makes
maybe I
sense.
check out
That
comedy,
makes
maybe I
sense.
check out music. Right? But training a people that it is normal to go to a comedy show takes fucking time.
Yeah.
That's not quick.
Yeah, Miami, I don't know if they have like a live music scene. Like, let's go out and listen to
But
music.
you guys did well in Miami. I attended that show. I loved it.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
different because we're not the average
Okay. Yeah. That makes
kind of
sense.
person, right?
You're not
Like,
starting out at it.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Right. What I would say about Miami
Yeah.
is a perfect example. Like Miami is Latin Americans' version of America in the same way that like Hawaii is Asians' version of America. So the things that exist and are popular in Latin America are going to succeed in
Yes.
Miami.
Makes sense.
Baseball, yes, we're into it. Soccer, we're into it.
Yeah, club
Bas-
nights, going out dancing
Clubs,
and shit.
Yes.
Basketball,
Right.
heat games are empty
Yes.
because basketball is not
It's not part of the
a cultural
Totally
thing
makes
in
sense.
Latin America, right?
Right.
And you'll see the
Yeah.
exact same thing happen in Hawaii. So you have this group of people that like going out, they like being entertained. It's like perfect for that, right? You have these clubs that start to get built up, and then you have the biggest name in media that moves there, and he's like, I'm going to put everything into this fucking club. And he makes this great club. The crazy thing, a lot of people
This
don't even
part,
know this
yeah.
about the club. It's like, Rogan's like, I don't even care if it makes money.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's like, I just wanted to break even.
You can't compete with that.
Yeah, I know.
You can't. It's like,
Yeah.
That's the biggest point right there, dude. He doesn't care if he makes money. He just wants to break even. He's right. You cannot compete with a company that doesn't care about profit, right? Because he just cares about the comedy and putting up comments. This next part's even better.
It's he goes, I just want it. I just want it to break even. Think about that.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it to make money. Dude, he won't let me say what it is, but he said I could talk kind of about it. But the way that he's paying comics,
It's bananas.
bro,
Bananas.
it's like it's just complete game changer.
Huh.
Like I don't know how the other
That's
clubs will react
Yeah.
because they're in it to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's developed a model where it's like it's like he doesn't want to make
But to
money.
be fair, he's like, I'm still gonna do the Vulcan. I'm still gonna do like
Bro,
Creek in the Cave,
Which is the
So-
sweetest thing.
so-
Which
which is
here-
very nice. He does not have
So
to do that.
here's
Yeah,
the other,
like-
here's the other. This is the
Yeah.
other thing that's crazy. This is if you work at the club. A lot of people that work at the club are comics. You can check out of your shift to go do a spot
Wow.
and come back
in another place.
In another place.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like and then come back in.
And the other place can't be mad because Rogan will still perform
Right.
at your venue.
Yeah. It's
So
literally
if
like
you find
Robin
out-
Hood shit.
yeah.
Yes.
He
So
like
he's-
took money from Spotify and is literally distributing it to comics
good.
in an insane way.
So
What do you think it is that how he's paying comics that's different? I can't wait to hear that.
Well, when you go to like the comedy store and you do a spot, I think it's like maybe 20, 50 bucks. Yeah. No, probably no more than like $50, even for like Ron White. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's probably giving him like $1,000, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just taking
Or
a guess,
part of
but they're,
the night.
yeah, maybe part of the night, but their
Yeah.
reaction right now, and since he can't say, it's got to be pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If he's saying you can have part of the, I pay all my employees and then, I split up all the comedians, each get a cut of the night's thing. That would be amazing.
Dude,
That'd
this is why I have such a huge fucking boner for this comedy mothership, because of what it's doing for comedy. It's breaking that barrier, right? I mean, it's unbelievable, dude. The way he's
just
paying
goes to
comics,
show.
the way, yeah, his character.
Yeah, how great Joe Rogan is. Yeah. Yeah. And we get both me and you even just get tired of saying that because it's such,
Well,
it's like,
you know why I like to say it? I used to like kind of shy away from it just because I was worried about what people thought, but it's like I don't give a fuck about any of that anymore. And people don't like Rogan or hate on him. They just don't listen to his podcast or know about it. And you know how many fucking friends that I know personally that are like, you listen to Rogan? I'm like, dude, just listen to these clips. And then they're fucking fanatics. And they're like, holy shit, he's one of the most open-minded motherfuckers ever, because he's curious and he genuinely wants to find out, right? And
That's one of my
yeah.
favorite things to do is to open people's mind to people like Rogan, and be like, you have this feeling about him, you have this thought about him, trust me.
And you know what that feeling is usually? He's a UFC fighter, meathead. Well, like one of my friends literally was like, I thought Rogan was just titties. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like, where did you get that from? Is this because he commentates like a UFC, so they just think he's like this meat because he's jacked too? Maybe he's like this meathead. It's like, no, you gotta like really listen to this guy. Like, he's pretty goddamn open. And like I said, what he's doing for comedy is just on a fucking another level. Yeah.
Shout out Jersey to the Bay. What up?
But speaking of your boy Andrew Schultz,
I hear he's getting a lot of hate also from his recent episode on Rogan.
Really? I was just gonna play you a clip from there really quick. What was that about?
I saw a guy giving that episode a lot of hate because they all they do is talk about how hard it is to be a comedian, how tough people just don't really understand. And the guy that was doing the video is this guy that he has a YouTube channel called Too Lazy to Try, and you could tell he's a comedian. He's like a stand-up comedian, but not like a big one. But he does like a drama alert channel for like all the comedians, for like what's going on with Bobby Lee and what's going on with Brendan Schaub and all that shit. And he really said that it was just ridiculous listening to Andrew Schultz talk about like how hard it is to be a comedian and this and that constantly.
I didn't get that vibe. I got the vibe of two comedians who genuinely love the art, just talking about the craft. That's what I got. I didn't get any of those vibes at all. Like, I was actually wondering if you listened to it, because obviously not. But I know you're a huge Andrew Schultz fan and shit. So, but yeah, check out this clip, dude. I think this is really cool because it was just a moment for Andrew Schultz where he realized he's about to be catapulted to another level in his comedy. Watch.
Hey, what about that? Yeah. And they're like, ah!
Yeah.
You know, like that's a part of it too. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on when you're doing comedy.
I almost think I memorize. Like, people go, how do you memorize all the words? And it's like, I don't think I memorize the words. I think I memorize the song.
Yeah, how it sounds.
Yeah, and like how it feels and the rhythm of it. And I think that's why, like, sometimes when you like adjust to different room sizes, like your rhythm can get off, and you go, oh, I forgot that section. Yeah, because the song is different. Yeah, the song is slower, the song is faster. But I memorized the song in this, was it pace or syncopation or whatever it is, this rhythm. Now it's a different rhythm. I need to memorize it in this different rhythm.
Yeah. Arena timing.
That's a perfect example.
Thing.
Well, I've never done arenas, but like,
well, I want you to.
Yeah,
we'll do them together.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I mean,
Andrew.
what a crazy.
Let's go.
That
Let's
would be
do
crazy.
Let's fucking go.
Here's a smile, dude.
So what happens? Is it
fun.
slowed? Is
There's
it
so
like,
many people.
Dude, that's so sick. Like, right there, literally, the next time Rogan does an arena, Schultz is gonna be there, dude.
How cool would that be to be able to do that, to bring your friends, like, and give them that gift of like that Rogan bump just because you want to, you're not looking for anything out of it. Like that would be, I always thought that, like, I knew, like, I'm not like patting myself on the back, but I knew I wasn't like a I knew I wasn't like a person that really cared about like attention and stuff when I realized that, like, how much joy I get out of like seeing my friends do really good and like family, like, and putting them, being able to, like, help them out and stuff, and like, to be able to do that and to have that feeling on a huge level, like taking him out on arena shows and, bringing them on the Joe Rogan Experience and getting that Rogan bump, bringing them to your comedy club, like being able to do that on a certain level has got to feel so good.
Oh,
you know
dude,
what I mean?
I dream. This is my dream in filmmaking, is to do that. Like, to like fund, like, the only reason why I would want to be successful in filmmaking is so I can fund other projects and just create, you know what I mean? Like, just create content that's not out there that I believe in, especially like comedy and stuff, because the film industry and has been infiltrated by woke identity politics and shit, right? So it's like, yeah, dude, that would fucking feel awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I think that's why I've always liked Rogan, is because he's always been that way. He always really like how putting Ari and Joey out there and giving them a career.
Well,
and
so he actually changed the game in that too. Like when a lot of comics would tour, they would bring in shitty opening acts so they would look better. And Rogan's like, why the fuck? I want the whole show to be awesome. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm gonna bring my funny ass friends and they're all killers. And why not just make this show that everyone's a fucking killer? And that kind of started a trend for other comics to do that. But before, dude, it was a kind of standard procedure just to like bring shitty opening acts so you look better, right? Rogan's not like that, dude.
Yeah, it's badass.
There's something else. Another cool thing about like Andrew Schultz is like how he never asked Rogan to go onto the show. Like he just knew like the day would come and one day Rogan would ask him, right? But it doesn't. I realize it doesn't even really matter. There's a female comedian, I can't remember her name, but she just went up to Rogan at a club and was like, "Hey, I think I would do really well on your show." And always like, "Okay, come on, in a few days." And she was on in a few days and she got that Rogan bump, right? So it's like, the other crazy thing is he does all of his own booking. You know how stressful that must be?
Yeah.
Because everyone and their mom just wants to come on his show. You know what I mean?
No, he doesn't do his own booking. He has a booker.
Really? He pridefully says that all the time. He's like, I do all my own booking.
No, he's got a booker. There's a guy on IG that does booking for Rogan, but I'm sure Rogan probably tells him like, "Hey, I want this guy on. I want this guy on." That type of thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nova J that says redneck runts for me tonight. Great strain. Love runs.
Shit. Redneck runs. What is that?
Probably a hybrid killer. And then shout out to Ronnie. He says, hit that like button, share the vid. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
This is a rare indica strain. That's crazy. I've never heard that one.
Ooh, redneck runts. I love the runts stuff, man. It's so fruity, so good. It's good stuff.
There's another Andrew Schultz clip that I want to play, but I want to use it to lead into the UFO report. So I just want to go over these other couple clips just really quick.
We got to talk about Bobby Lee. What's going on?
We'll get into that. Let me play this Shane Gillis shit just really quick. This shit's fucking hilarious, dude. So during Skankfest, I think it's Tuesdays with Stories, or there was another podcast that was on Skankfest that they're doing live. And then check this out, dude. This is hilarious.
Job from Jim and Sam.
I think Cavino and Rich set you up.
What? I don't. They set you up. Oh, Jim and Sam.
They're great.
Those three fucking.
What? Are you talking to the guy behind me?
Who are you? Sir, sir, I mean this. I will have you removed from the whole festival for this one.
The guy's yelling, "Shut the fuck up! You're not funny. You're not funny," or something like that.
For this one moment, you get to have this, and you'll be removed from the whole festival. How does that make you feel? Yeah. So shut the fuck up. No, I don't give a fuck. I literally, and I mean this. You have one. If your next word isn't "I'm fucking sorry," you'll be fucking removed from this festival. So think about it nice and clear. Think about it nice and clear. I swear on my fucking son's life. Go ahead. Go ahead. Test me. Test me. Yeah, shut the fuck up and sit down, bitch. Fucking asshole, dickhead, fuckface. Yeah, sit down. Say another fucking word. I'll take that fucking damage neck myself. I swear
Watch
to fucking
down
Christ.
Soder, though.
Yeah, that's right. Walk the fuck away slowly, idiot.
Look at Dan Soder.
Pussy.
Kid sign a waiver tomorrow if he wants to.
Yeah, just sign up for the fucking musical chairs fights, pussy.
Do you know who the guy is in between Jay and what's his fucking name?
Lewis,
yeah.
No.
It's Jason Ellis. He's like that.
Oh yeah, fighter.
Yeah, he does that shit with Tony Hawk. Check this shit out, bro. This is hilarious, bro.
Dude, we told this podcast a bunch of times. Dude. An assassin and a live podcast is the funniest thing. So me and Matt, it was at Skankfest, and it was Jason Ellis's podcast, but it was like Soder, Lewis J,
Big J, I
think Big J was up there. So. They were all up there, and me and Matt were in the back, and we were talking to this guy, and he was like, "What did he ask for? He asked
He's
for
wanted a picture.
you want a picture? And I was like, the only way you can get a picture is if you go up there and tell them to shut the fuck up. This guy, without even
say, this is not funny.
This is not funny.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. This isn't funny. Shut up. So in the middle of a live podcast, this dude standing walks to the front and just goes, "Hey, hey." And they're like, "What?" He goes, "Shut up. This isn't funny. Be funny." Oh yeah, he started saying be funny. He's like, "Be funny. Shut the fuck up. Be funny." And dude, of course, Lewis is like, you get the fuck out of here. This is my festival. I'll fucking
I could unravel Joe List.
He didn't stop. The guy didn't stop. For real, Lewis is in the middle of like, kick him the fuck out, and the guy just goes, "Shut up." and then he walked back, and Soder was on it. Soder watched. Soder followed where he walked. He saw me and Matt in the back, like he was like, "Oh, that was Shane."
Yeah, he's an old wizard, dude. He went, "This isn't right. This isn't real."
Oh,
yeah, it was very funny.
You could, if we sent you, dude, just from the back, just be like, "Shut the fuck
The guy
up."
with the glasses is bothering me.
You could.
That's hilarious, bro. I love Soder, dude. Soder's great, dude. Big Remo says, "What did Bobby do now? Dude is a dumb fuck anyway." Ooh.
All right, let's get into it. Now,
poor dude. I feel bad for Bobby Lee, kinda.
You know, I have to admit,
in shitty situations, but he's
I
always
don't feel sorry for. I have to admit, I don't feel sorry for him at all, dude. Like, we talked about Joe Rogan's character, and I know we don't obviously know him, but you could kind of tell somebody's character by the way everyone else talks about him, right? And everyone talks about Joe Rogan like, "Oh, you don't know the shit he does behind the scenes, like, he's tipping thousands of dollars." Well, anyway, I've never heard one good thing from other comics about Bobby Lee. There's like always like, "I fought him 3 times." Every comedian that talks about him has gotten in a fight with him. So I'm like, he sounds like a little fucking bitch.
Sounds like a coward. He sounds like the type of guy that would threaten to sue you if
yeah. That's a fucking perfect way of putting that.
Too.
Anyway, Bobby Lee years ago on a podcast told a horrifying story about having sex. I think it was in Tijuana or some city in Mexico with like a 12-year-old girl. And he didn't just tell it on this one podcast. He went on a bunch of shows and told the same story. And people now on TikTok are trying to cancel him. Like I said, I don't prescribe to the cancel shit, but I think it's important to just, talk about this because I just want to know whether people think this is a joke or are you just disgusted by this? And I want to see what you think.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been waiting.
So I'm going to play a couple clips that I found on TikTok of people explaining it the best. So here's a good one to start with.
News! Comedian Bobby Lee is facing backlash for telling a joke about a child in Mexico. Here is a clip of him retelling his joke.
I take this girl up there, and you can see tears coming down her face and snot bubbles. I started power fucking her, and she looked like Natalie Portman, like in The Professional.
He has recently made his Instagram private after mounting pressure from the public. Is this comedy or did he go too far?
I have someone else that'll break it down a lot better.
That's hard. That's hard.
And he really did put his Instagram on private. Now, personally, I'm pretty open to jokes, right? And if it is a joke, to me, that joke's not funny. Like, I don't find those kinds of things funny. And I have a pretty fucked up sense of humor, too. So for me, that kind of draws the line. So it's interesting in the comments. People are like, "That's Bobby Lee. He tells those kinds of stories." But everyone's else like, "This is disgusting. Like, you don't tell those kinds of jokes." Like, what the
if
fuck?
that's real, why would you even tell it?
Well, that's the thing. Like that's what Bobby Lee defenders are saying, that it's a joke. But so
it's like the type of humor where you're like, ugh.
So that's what I'm trying to say is like, is it real? And if it's real, it's obviously horrifying. But if it's not real and it's a joke, it's just not funny. So either way, it's just not good, right? So this chick breaks it down. She's kind of annoying, but just check this out.
I'm coming for you. This guy might look familiar. His name is Bobby Lee, and he's a semi-famous comedian. He just went on Chris D'Elia's podcast and talked about R-wording a child, like an actual child. This is Chris D'Elia, the podcast host. He might also look familiar because he's got 3 Netflix specials. Simply typing in Chris D'Elia allegation shows all of this, which includes child porn. Okay, he says, I do have a problem. Wow. Before I play this for you, I do want to say that I am also a comedian in Chicago. I actually have shows in New York this weekend. Do I know what this could do to my career? Yes. Do I care? No. Now, Bobby Lee went to Tijuana for some schmex tourism. He could have gone to Las Vegas or any place, but no, he went to the place notorious for child schmex trafficking. And here's what he had to say.
I put the condom on, and she's really cold, you know? I feel so bad saying this story. Girls are always cold. And so I stick it in. It's very tight, right?
That was David Cho, by the way, the Facebook painter guy, the graffiti artist.
And then the moon is shining through a little crack. No. The moon is shining through the window in a little crack, right? Very romantic. Yeah, very romantic. yeah. And then her head turns, and the moon, I see her face. Yeah. And you can see tears coming down her face and snot bubbles. And she's shaking. Okay? Why are you smiling, dude? It's fucking rude, bro.
It's not funny.
It should have been your sister.
Why are they laughing?
Right? And so I did what anyone else would do. I power fucked her.
You know what's sad about that?
So the reason why I think it's real is because, so just really quick before we get into it, this is him telling the same story on Opie and Anthony.
Power fucked her afterwards.
Wow. Or not Opie and Anthony. I think it was Opie and when Norton had their show. So if it's a bit, it's a really horrible, bad taste bit, but maybe there is some reality to it because he's telling the story. I don't know. I'm confused, but either way, I am disgusted by this, dude.
You know what sucks, dude?
And look, just really quick, I'm not trying to cancel anybody here, you know what I mean? But comedy is so fucking important to me, and this is a hot topic right now, and that's the only reason why I want to talk about it, because I genuinely want to know, even chat, like, how do you feel about this, right?
So one of the things that I'm bad about is whenever like I'm in like a live situation and like crazy shit's going down, you know, like if I'm on a show or a podcast and like somebody comes on that doesn't get along with somebody else in the podcast and they start going at it, I have like a nervous like laughter where I'll kind of like laugh like
yes, most
laughter.
people do. Yeah.
And I kind of felt like that was going on with David Cho there.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, should I hate David Cho for laughing at that? Or was that like a nervous laughter thing? And he's thinking that this is a joke, because a big part of me wants to hate David Cho too.
Yeah, I'm totally there with you on that, dude. I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, A, because it's not his story, and B, I know exactly what you're talking about. Most people do that. When you're in a comfortable situation, you laugh, but it's just because you're not really processing like what's happening in the moment. You know what I mean? You don't really get until you reflect on it. You're like, holy shit, that was fucked up. I shouldn't have laughed at that.
Yeah. Hey, Remo, you got to let me know, man. Did you have a run-in with Bobby Lee or something? Because it seems like you definitely don't like the guy on top of stuff before this. You're more than welcome to jump in to the Discord too if you want, bro. But
so
Big Remo's a good dude. Big Remo's another podcaster.
What's up, Big Remo?
Dude.
But I have to also be honest. Even before this incident, I gave up on Bobby Lee. I think a year and a half, 2 years. Whenever him and that Kalila shit went down, and I just couldn't watch their I only watched really their podcast when there was like a guest on there that I really liked, like another comedian. But even now, like I haven't watched their show in probably over a year and a half, dude. Like I hate Kalila.
I can't stand Kalila.
Fucking batshit crazy, dude.
Yeah, and you know what's really crazy? I really liked her when she first started
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
I really liked her. But then I saw how crazy she is. I'm not a fan of Brendan Schaub, but I think that Bobby Lee is such a pussy that he should have handled that situation much. Like, again, to me, Bobby Lee is the type of guy that is such a pussy that he cannot stand up for himself, right? And he's also the type of comedian that is always taking the brunt of jokes from other comedians, and he's just kind of fell into that. So part of me thinks like, again, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a coward. And
you know what else he's not? To me, he's not a real stand-up comedian. You know why? He doesn't have a fucking special. He doesn't have one special. Like, where's his special? He doesn't have an hour of material to put out. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it's very weird. And again, him going on H3H3 the way he did, and
That was
hence
fucking.
that situation. It was
Oh
fucking
god.
gross too. Yeah,
Dude.
I'm not a fan of Bobby Lee, and it's exactly the same. A lot of people aren't friends of Bobby Lee, including Joe Rogan, and that says a lot, right? That says a lot.
The thing is that's weird about this is only happening on TikTok. I can't find this anywhere else. If you Google it, nothing pops up. I haven't seen anything on Instagram except for him keeping his profile private. It's just on TikTok where, you know, people are just really running with this. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you hear all these stories about Brian Callen and him too, also not getting along, right?
dude,
So-
every fucking comedian that you can think of has had an issue with Bobby Lee at some point in their life. I'm not even exaggerating on that.
Yeah.
I have an interesting clip of that Wolf dude though, talking shit.
Oh, yeah. Mark Harley or whatever. Yeah.
Check this motherfucker out.
Like a
So just so you guys know, it was like I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, McClay goes, you know that Wolf dude that used to hang around Brendan Shawwell? And right when McClay said Wolf dude, I knew exactly who he was talking about. Is this motherfucker right here? But this guy used to work with Schaub, and then they had a falling out, and he's been going on a rampage this last month, just fucking talk. I can't stand Brian Callen either.
Yeah, Callen's
to be honest with you, like he just, I think he just thinks he's like too smart or something. Like I don't know what it is. Anyway, yeah, he used to work with Schaub, and they had a falling out. Now he's just on this shit talking tour, and it's fucking hilarious.
Stick to Bobby. She, you can find compilations of her attempting to humiliate him. I actually noticed it.
I've seen him.
Yeah. When they came out on the H3 podcast, that was really, I'm sitting there watching it going, look at the way that she emotionally steamrolls over Bobby. He's saying, I'm uncomfortable doing something. Please stop doing this. And she goes, no, don't be Bobby. And I'm like, that's classic abusive, manipulative behavior. She's remorseless. I don't think she empathizes with people in a traditional way. I think she has enough emotional intelligence to like pretend and pay lip service to. She go, in therapy, we were talking about how we have to I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, you make me fucking sick. And I hope that she watches this because, you know, it's always like this, like, one of the things that we consider when I'm in the Philippines and I came back and Hawaii. And also, I'm definitely not a psychopath if I talk calmly, Brendan. And then when we're on a private conversation, I'm going to scream at you. But, you know, let's just forget that. While I'm on camera, I'm going to seem calm and logical. And then I'm also going to call you a fucking piece of loser at the top of my lungs on a conversation. And say, you know what? Hey, let's just put this... Right? Because like you can imagine that, right? I'm not painting anything that's crazy.
No, and
she's that person. She's a sadistic, narcissistic psychopath.
She seems kind of scary. If you had to die,
she is. And there's not just my opinion. Look at her track record. Look at the poetry that people have unearthed online.
I saw that.
She is somebody who, over the course of decades, has not only lied. Right? Hey, guess what, Kalila? You're not the swimmer you said you were. You didn't have a D1 scholarship. You weren't a nurse. All these things that you start to realize when you're dealing with people who have personality disorders, they lie about everything. Yes, you are a liar. You did not do the things that you said you have done, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I feel that way about Theo, dude. I feel like Theo
I love Theo.
Yeah, I think Theo just got lumped in with Schaub, and Theo realized what Schaub was about. And
He definitely. Yep. He's not doing the King of the Sting anymore.
Yeah, I think Theo is funny as fuck.
Dude, Theo brings so much joy and laughter to my life. I do think he's funnier on podcasts than he is like his stand-up. Don't get me wrong, I love his stand-up. I've actually seen him live. It's great. But he's just so much funnier in podcasts because he's so witty in the things that he says and he comes up with on the moment. You're like, what the fuck? How did you come up with that? Why is it the funniest thing I've ever heard? It's literally like the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, he's got a good way of doing things, that's for sure.
But yeah, you're right, dude. He's tried to distance himself as far away from Schaub as possible. And have you seen Schaub's new podcast
with Chris D'Elia?
Yeah, Chris D'Elia and the dude from Workaholics. Dude, it is god awful. And it's hilarious. There's actually a podcast that just watches Brendan Schaub podcasts and content and makes fun of him. Like he gets shit on so hard. It's hilarious. Like there's like a whole Reddit.
He's not
Yeah,
funny.
he's not. Oh my God.
He's far from funny.
That's like the one thing I actually am mad about Joe Rogan is like
platforming non-funny people.
Yeah, shop.
Yeah.
He should have just fucking let him get beat up in the UFC ring.
I wonder if how I'd love to be a fly on a wall, like backstage where they're talking about that, everything that's going on with that. But did you see that? I know right now Callan is been on what's his name, the political dude, Crowder, Louder with Crowder. Yeah, and a lot of people are saying,
I've seen Callan on there. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that Callan is going to jump ship and not do anything with Schaub anymore, not do the fighter and the kid anymore, and just do Crowder stuff, which would be very interesting because
I don't think he's gonna commit to Crowder.
Schaub,
right now, Crowder is just doing rotating guests. Like,
yeah.
So, but you know what's interesting about that is, don't you remember when Callan had to stay away from the fighter and the kid because they canceled him and the sponsors, and now he's back? Like that's weird.
Yeah. Eddie Bravo, I think it's funny because like I think Eddie just has his own thing going, and
I like Eddie. I know he has some crazy things that he says in conspiracy, but he seems true and real, and he seems like a friend that like a good friend that you'd want on your side. You know what I mean? I like Bravo, dude. But you want to know the craziest shit about Chris D'Elia? Like about his whole cancellation and how he was.
That documentary that one comedian did was fucking hardcore.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, you got to watch it. There's a documentary a comedian did. He put it out within the last like 6 months. It's on YouTube, and it's got all the phone calls with D'Elia talking to chicks and all kinds of stuff, dude.
Dude, we all watch that and talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But check this out. This is what's so like weird about that whole situation. Workaholics episode with Chris D'Elia as a pedophile pulled by Comedy Central, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. So
that's how I found out about Chris D'Elia, because that episode was so fucking funny.
Dude, I can't remember if I saw it or not. Like
it's the funniest episode of Workaholics by far.
But isn't it funny that
he played
Okay, but that's not where it ends. Check this out. Chris D'Elia played a pedophile in You, and people are pointing it out. You is a show that Jordan loves and watches, and before all this happened,
too.
He was like, Chris D'Elia is playing a pedo, and then he gets fucking charged for all that shit. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, it was
like the content that he's like acting in has to do with like things that he's doing in real life. Like, is that a coincidence or what the fuck?
His Workaholics episode, because I didn't know who D'Elia was before Workaholics. His Workaholics episode is so funny, bro. It's so fucking funny. And again,
I love those guys so much, dude.
Yeah. They pulled the why did they pull the episode? Because as Remo says, art imitates life, and he
yeah, no shit, right?
He's a pedo in it. Yeah. So
yeah, because he got canceled for getting with underage girls, so they're probably like fuck and freaked out and just started pulling things.
He even had chicks tattoo themselves his initials on them. One of his things that he would do is he'd convince these chicks to tattoo CD on them and like a heart symbol, so it didn't look like his initials. Like that's crazy shit, bro. That's cult.
And he
always
even
brags about his cult of little babies, right?
I know when you go back and listen to clips of him talking on podcasts, it's actually like disgusting.
Yeah, the internet is forever, you guys. Just like I say, the last couple of weeks I've been really like pushing this thought that nothing is private anymore with the internet. If you guys think
not even the internet,
if you guys think that you're in a group chat and everything's gonna stay in that group chat and you're gonna talk shit about somebody and it's not gonna get to somebody, wrong. If you think that what you say in a Google Hangout or a
Facebook Messenger
isn't gonna get to the person that you're talking shit about, wrong. And if you think you're gonna go on a podcast and nobody's gonna see it, wrong. So
not just that, dude. Facebook Messenger, if you type something up, like if I was like, fuck McClay, fuck you, I hate you, and then I'm like, I don't want to send that, back it up. They keep a record of that. So they have all of what you typed. And I just have this odd feeling in like 10 to 15 years, all this Facebook will crumble and all this data is going to be in some asshole's hands. He's just going to be like, I'm putting all of everyone's messages out for anyone to see at any time. And I can go on yours, Brian, and just look at everyone you've ever talked to, your conversations, and even what you wanted to type. And, you know, like that's scary. Like even when I walk my dog around the block, I'm like, I'm on probably like 10 Ring cameras right now. Like you can't do shit without being on camera or on the internet.
Yeah. So just be honest and don't be an asshole. That's the best way to get around all that.
We should make shirts that say that.
Yeah, right.
Be honest and don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Just a couple more things before we get into the UFO report. It's just some stand-up specials if you are interested in watching anything this weekend. I went into 5 badass specials last week. I think I went Norman, Gillis, Ari Shafir. They're all on YouTube. Louis C.K. You have to go to his website. And then Chris Rock has one on Netflix. There's a new comedian that I personally discovered. I know he's been out for a while. His name's Mike Vecchione. I hope I'm saying that right. He was recently on Theo's podcast. He was on Ari Shafir's. He seems very respected in the community, but he just came out with a new special. Fucking hilarious. It's like I was talking about last week, that trend of comedians putting their specials on YouTube, so you don't need a fucking middleman, right? So this is an amazing special to watch. You know, another thing though, really quick, that I love about the comedy community is when a comedian has a special come out, dude, they are so fucking supportive. Like literally every comedian in the world will retweet it. You know what I mean? To get more views on it. Hell yeah. Let's get this. Yeah, fucking let's get people to watch his special, right?
Yeah.
Another one, Jeremiah Watkins.
Love Jeremiah Watkins.
He has a special called Daddy. Me and Jordan watched it last week. It's pretty funny. I enjoyed it. You know, if you have an hour and you want to fucking laugh, definitely check it out. And this is what I'm fucking stoked for. The trailer for Big J Oakerson's special Dog Belly. And it's actually produced by Ari Shafir. So I thought I would just play this really quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, play it.
Is anybody here wearing a butt plug? I believe him. I can't keep up with the pace of news for stuff I want to write about. Bill Cosby's already out of prison. He's out. I never wrote a joke about him going to prison because I'm still trying to process that Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable is fucking unconscious women. It's crazy. He got mad when Theo got an earring. I've been called racist a lot. I've been called a Nazi a lot too. Probably not the most, but maybe the most of any other Jewish person in history. You think that means you can't be a Nazi? I'm like, yeah, it's like the whole thing, man. It's like the thing. James Franco accused of sexual harassment. If James Franco has to sexually harass to get pussy, then I better learn how to fuck in a ski mask. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I love Big J, bro.
It reminds me of like my people we went to high school with, and
oh
that, like,
yeah, still dressed that same way from the 90s.
Yeah. His dyeing of his tips, and
his gloves.
He's wearing the gloves, and he's got the straight edge tattoos on his hands. You know, he's wearing the same shorts and like Janko jeans. You know that.
Dude, you know what my favorite thing about him is? He just sits on the stool and just owns. Like usually, you know, they're walking around, they're a little bit more animated. He doesn't need that. He just literally sits on his fucking stool and just owns the. And you know what's crazy is, do you remember when John Carden came on the show?
Yeah.
John Carden was a comic that lived in Phoenix and moved to Austin. Dude, he's been touring with Big J and opening for him. And I've been following along his stories and shit. And he's just like, I can't watch Big J just owning the room right now. And like, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
like how good Big J is. So
I would love to get John back on. We should reach out to him and see if we can get him.
I think he's in town performing this weekend. I actually meant to reach out to him, dude. So yeah, that's produced by Ari Shafir. So I thought that was if you're looking for some stand-up specials, there's so much fucking good comedy out right now. It's unbelievable. All right, let me cue up this last thing, bro, and then we'll get into the UFO report. Hang on, just gotta find it really quick. If you, by the way, Chad, if you you know, if there's a stand-up that you love and you enjoy, put them in the comments because I'm constantly looking for new stand-ups. I'm literally obsessed with it. It's my fucking favorite thing in the world. This should be good.
I
get into some
mean,
mushrooms,
maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe people go crazy and they come back. I'm sure if they go crazy, they. I know people have come back from mental illness before. It's not like it's insurmountable, but it depends upon the case, right?
Yeah. I don't know. We're just in this like weird time right
think I
now. Where, like,
fucking-
It's also part of the problem of being a comedian. Be like, what punchlines? Like, oh no, what do I do? Lunatic that's in your cycle of friends that thinks that.
I get into some
I mean,
mushrooms,
maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe people go crazy and they come back. I'm sure if they go crazy,
Fuck, I think I put the wrong
if
timestamp.
they
My
go
bad.
crazy, they. I mean, no respectful at all, but I would text him photos of Yeonmi Park and then a photo of a weightlifter, and then it's a community's choice.
Fuck, that sucks. Anyway, it was so perfect to lead into the comment into the UFO report because they talk about UFOs and nukes, and then Rogan goes, "That's exactly why I named the rooms Fat Man and Little Boy is because of the connection between aliens and nukes." And I thought that was so interesting because that was the topic of your UFO report tonight.
Yeah, we got a very interesting.
Should we get into it?
Anniversary. Yeah, we should. All right, the UFO report. All right, this is very interesting. I love reading news reports from other countries because it's kind of like stepping outside of your own country and looking in type thing. And every once in a while, Canada drops a good one, and this is a really good one from the Calgary Herald. Nearly 6 decades after the seminal Montana UFO incidents, the Air Force vets briefed the Pentagon. So for a lot of you guys that don't know, nearly 6 decades ago, over 30 UFO or over 30 nuke missiles were messed with by UFOs. And one of the very famous reports comes from a U.S. Air Force lieutenant named Robert Solis. He was a 26-year veteran, and he is in his 80s now. And on the night of March 24th, 1967, he was 20 meters below the ground in a Montana prairie overseeing the nuke silos that could obliterate millions. And without warning, 10 Minuteman I intercontinental ballistic missiles burrowed beneath Maelstrom Air Force Base that were burrowed beneath the Maelstrom Air Force Base, a 5-hour drive southeast of Calgary, started acting weird. Salas says, I felt we were under attack in a phone interview from his home in Ventura, California. But the assailants, he said, weren't any Cold War foes. Soviet technology couldn't have abruptly disabled the missile's guidance and control systems, which was happening that night. All the guidance and control systems on the missiles went haywire. He says you would have to have sent individual signals to each missile within seconds, and we had no power. He's 82 now. He came out years ago and went and talked in front of Congress about these things. But the crazy thing is he said, yeah, this had never happened before, and we have nothing that could do that even now. But the interesting thing is, just moments before the system's failure, a non-commissioned security officer near the surface of those missile silos made a series of increasingly frenzied phone calls to Robert Salas, describing an oval-shaped form within pulsating, glowing orange-red lights hovering over the missile silos. The non-commissioned officer also described the approach of a silent object which was making unusual controlled maneuvers, such as flying very fast, coming to a dead stop, then reversing course and making 90-degree turns. Salas said he was screaming in the phone, terrified. I told him to secure the facility at all costs. It was reported that they had lost radio contract with with flight security controller, and they were very shaken by the experience, he said. Less than a minute after the pulsating object had arrived over the launch control center, it had quickly departed. The dumbfounded officer soon found himself in a meeting with a squadron commander and special investigative officer, and he was told the incident did not involve any kind of Air Force exercise. The crazy thing is that back then he signed a non-disclosure agreement where he couldn't talk about it, and then the disclosure agreement ended in 1996, and he started talking about it. He also learned that 10 ICBMs had been disabled under identical circumstances in September of 1966 at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota. Within a span of 6 months, they lost 30 nuclear missiles to UFOs. Think about that. Right?
Sorry for the dumb question. How many nukes, do you think that we have, the U.S.? Do we know?
Hundreds. I don't think we've ever known. But back during the 90s, during the end of the Cold War, they made a deal with Russia to start taking these things offline, and we still don't really truly know how many we have. But could have been. I mean, they're all over the world. We have bases in Europe that have missiles in them. We have.
Well, there's some on subs, right? Submarines.
Subs, yeah.
No subs.
So it says here that the fact
That's so
that
fucking crazy.
It is, dude. The fact that no apparent reason for the loss of 10 missiles can be readily identified as the cause for grave concern at this headquarters, is what he testified. So it's really crazy. Yeah, really crazy. It says here that he's convinced the military and government has covered it up for decades now, and that they've known all along about the UFOs. He says, it is a milestone for me because I have never told my story to the government office, he said, adding that the AARO officials have contacted him. The people that were, the AARO office that was made recently contacted him to get his information, which he gave more information. His affidavits were signed by several other officers 13 years ago during I think the Stephen Greer stuff. But he said that this happened at 3 different bases. So
This dude's still alive?
Yeah, he's 80 years old. He's still alive. But just crazy stuff. So I know that we've talked about this before about the UFOs shutting down these nuclear missiles, and I figured it was a good idea to talk about the old story. A lot of people don't know about these stories, but can you imagine? That's happened in Russia. People have talked about it happening in Russia too, where they almost launched nukes, against the United States, thinking that they were in war. They've had UFOs turn on countdowns and turn them off, and multiple things. So very interesting stuff.
I mean, if you think about it, aliens come down and check us out, and they're like, "Oh, I wonder what these fuckers are doing." And it's like, "Oh, wow, they got nukes. I wonder what are they using those for?" And I was like, they want to use them to kill each other. What the fuck?
Yeah,
They probably think we're nuts.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird, man. This was a new sighting this week. A Tic Tac UFO filmed from a plane over Central California. I think we talked about this last week. Here's a detailed account of it, though, right here. On Sunday, March 11th, I was flying south over Central California on Southwest Airlines flight 2463 from Sacramento to San Diego. I was seated in the window seating on the left side in the middle of the plane, right behind the left wing. About halfway through our flight, I was looking out the window and saw a Tic Tac UFO in the distance traveling perpendicular to us. It was white cylinder craft with no wings, windows, markings, or discernible features. It was a smooth white cylinder with no visible means of propulsion or exhaust plumes. The Tic Tac UFO was in the distance a few miles from us. It was moving in the constant path. There was nothing remarkable about it. It didn't move fast or hover. It just moving at a constant rate of speed and disappeared soon into the clouds. It was a few degrees above our plane, so at a similar altitude, and it was northwest of our plane's orientation. I saw the Tic Tac side, and it was traveling perpendicular to us towards the plane, so it was traveling west. I recorded it on my phone with video for about 18 seconds before the Tic Tac disappeared into the cloud bank. I have included the video and stills. According to the video was taken on March 11th at 5:57 p.m. General Mountain Time. So he said he used Flight Aware and converted this time from Sunday, March 12th, 1:58 a.m. UTC. And that put just the plane near Selma in Fresno County. There were no planes in the immediate vicinity. So this is that video that we talked about last. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's
what
weird
the
to see. I'm used to seeing the Tic Tacs usually in the ocean, in the water. It's weird to see it so far on land.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Well,
Dude.
it's also weird, just all the different shapes we're getting in, UFOs now. Before it was, your standard UFO shape. Now they're coming in Tic Tacs, they're coming in cubes, fucking the gimbal, yeah, all kinds of different shapes. It's weird.
Speaking about the gimbal, bro, check this out. James Fox, we've talked about James Fox before. He's the director and producer of the documentary about the Varginha case. Great ufologist. He had the gimbal footage. He has the daytime gimbal footage, colorized, not black and white, and it changes things. Check this out, dude. Daytime gimbal footage. If you remember, this video was usually in black and white and hard to see. Now you can see it's above the clouds. You can see this weird thing that this thing does. And you can see how fast it's moving. It just makes it a lot different when it's colorized.
An interesting thing Rogan said in regards to all this bullshit, and he has the top people in the world that he talks about this stuff with. He says ever since Eric Weinstein came on his show that he feels like it's just highly advanced drones that's actually our technology, and they're just using this UFO shit as a cover up to hide all of it.
This does some weird things, dude. It changes from it opened up. Did you see that? Where it just opened up and it changed its shape, right? And it's going in one direction. At the end of the video, it stops and goes in the opposite direction. You can barely see it. And you can't see those things unless you see this version of it. Watch right here. See how it starts moving differently?
Whoa.
And then it goes up here and it goes whoop.
That's exactly what
look.
Bob Lazar said. Remember?
Yeah.
They have to go like this and then to take off.
Yep.
Right?
And watch. Boom, it's gone.
Whoa.
It takes off.
Damn.
Crazy, dude. So shout out to James Fox for putting this out, man. This is awesome. Absolutely crazy, dude.
I want to read some of the comments just really quick.
It says it's fake. James Fox has not posted anything on his Instagram's account, so I don't know if that's true. All right, already. So they've admitted they're out there. Don't believe me, but one time working overnights. It's just people giving.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, check this out. Did you see this? Wes Anderson made a UFO movie. That
I know. I saw that. The whole fucking trailer looks like a postcard.
Right.
Like every shot looks like a perfect postcard.
You're not here.
We're not there. The car exploded. Come get the girls. I have to stay here with Woodrow.
I'm not the chauffeur. I'm the grandfather. Where are you?
Asteroid City, Farm Route 6, mile 75.
Junior stargazers and space cadets. Each year we celebrate Asteroid Day, commemorating September 23rd, 3007 BC, when the arid plains meteorite made Earth impact.
Holy Toledo, that's Mitch Campbell. You're very good in the one about the tramp in the brothel who gets amnesia and becomes a pediatrician. You were very awesome. Actually, maybe my favorite character ever. I don't know why nobody else liked it. Oh.
What do those pulses indicate?
What? Oh, the beeps and blips? We don't know.
Some of our information about outer space may no longer be completely accurate. Anyway, there's still only 9 planets in the solar system as far as we know. Billy?
Except now there's an alien.
What's happening now?
I don't know. I don't like the way that guy looked at us. The alien.
How did he look?
Like we're doomed.
Maybe we are.
I've just informed the president.
How long can they keep us in Asteroid City legally?
The world will never be the same.
That's an alien doing jumpy jacks. That's an alien in a top hat.
What's out there? The meaning of life. Maybe there is one.
Are you married?
I'm a widower, but don't tell my kids.
You're saying her mother died 3 weeks ago?
Let's say she's in heaven, which doesn't exist for me, of course, but you're Episcopalian.
In my loneliness, I learned to give complete.
Dude, Wes Anderson movies are so interestingly weird.
Well, he definitely has his just own unique style, right? I
Yeah.
mean, from his color compositions to his
How they
framing,
talk.
how they talk, the dialogue, he does all those crazy whip pans all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Where like it'll be like, and then like back over to the other character.
He always uses the same actors and actresses.
He does an interesting thing for his wide shots, which is pretty cool. Like the reason why they're so perfect is because the cinematographer will literally take a measuring tape from each side of the room and then until it lines up, then he puts the camera there so he knows it's absolutely perfect, you know?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Wes Anderson film?
I like the one I think that he did recently with did he do Knives Out?
No, that's actually Ryan Johnson.
Okay. I was gonna say Knives Out if it would have been Knives
You like
Out.
oh damn.
Yeah, I like Knives Out. I thought Knives Out was really good, dude. I don't know. Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is a good one. What else?
I have to
does he
say
have?
for me, just the OGs like Rushmore and Bottle Rocket.
Yeah.
Life Aquatic.
I liked the French Dispatch. That was good.
I actually haven't seen that
Royal
one yet. I still need to see that.
Royal Tenenbaums by far. Definitely Royal Tenenbaums.
Grand Budapest Hotel is pretty good.
Yeah, that was good too.
Do you guys have it? Oh, Life Aquatic. Yeah, they're all pretty goddamn good, huh?
Yeah. I've seen them all, I think, but
I got to see the French Dispatch. I just realized I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. Grand Budapest is good. I like Ray Fiennes in that.
He's a goat, dude.
Yeah.
Such a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
That's funny that you played that because I was wondering if you saw that trailer.
Yeah. This is kind of interesting. Tell me what you think about this. I don't know if this is real or not, but it's pretty creepy either way. This is on Twitter. A couple from Kansas, USA was driving home.
This movie's bad as fuck. Sorry.
Driving home from vacation and got this. What do you think?
Fake.
Yeah. Think it's fake?
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty crazy.
I feel like I see videos like this every day.
Yeah. It says a couple from Kansas, USA was driving home on vacation when a mysterious creature ran in front of them. Does anyone have a version of what it was?
Yeah, let's see.
The comments are probably pretty fake. Man, that creature is wearing Nikes and a backpack. Always in the USA. Looks.
That's
like
the other crazy thing is, it's just because I'm naive to this and ignorant to this, but is the rest of the world as fascinated with UFOs as the US is, like we are?
That's a great question.
Because it seems like all of the shit does always only happen here. You know?
Yeah.
Like, how come we're not getting videos from other countries' pilots and all that shit?
Yeah. I got to check out Nope. Everybody's telling me to go watch Nope, but Nope is a good. I would like Nope, so I got to go check that out.
Yeah, I got to watch that one too. I like Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never going to be able to top his sketch show. That shit's just, his sketches were just too good.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
such
bro.
a phenomenal actor.
Oh yeah.
Key and Peele is like a goated sketch comedy show.
Yeah. All right, check this out. What the hell is this, bro? This is crazy.
Whoa. That's not
Starlink?
Starlink?
I don't think so, bro.
What the fuck?
Right? What is that? Almost looks like words.
Like Morse code.
Yeah. This will train from Dumbledore.
Oh, could be a train on a track. You just can't see it.
You just can't see it. Yeah.
That's a very good explanation.
Yeah.
Well, go up again. It said I saw the same thing a few weeks ago. Go scroll up. It was
just gliding, floating on top of our neighborhood. It looked like a video of it, and it looked exactly like this. Now that shit was true. Wow, dude. It's weird. Could be a train.
I think it's a train, but
could be.
Damn.
Yeah, it definitely could be a train. That's for sure.
I do have one thing for the UFO report, just whenever.
Yeah, I am finished. And
Okay,
we are
cool. Let's see.
change over.
We talked about this, I don't know, months ago. Actually, right, I think in August when it came out. Like when the story kind of resurfaced, I should say. It's about the Calvine case. This dude tweeted, surprisingly decent article from The Sun. Big moves on the Calvine case. If this intelligent officer is legit and is not Nick Pope, I don't know who that is.
He's a famous. Nick Pope was like the Lou Elizondo for Great Britain back in the 90s.
Okay. Then I feel that Kevin no longer needs to come forward. The case can move past that if this spook is on the level. So it just they talk about it being, you know, the world's best ever UFO image. The Calvine photo shows up top secret and highly advanced U.S. aircraft, says ex-Intel. I think I actually have a picture of it in our thing here.
Whoa.
Like this is actually it right here.
That's interesting.
So it said a massive diamond-shaped craft captured in the world's best ever UFO photo was a top secret U.S. aircraft, according to an ex-defense intelligence officer. The credible image, known as the Calvine photograph, shows a huge angular shape hovering over the landscape with a Harrier fighter jet visible in the distance. So you can kind of get the scope of how fucking big these things would be if this is real. Because I mean, just imagine standing next to this plane. I mean, it's just huge, right?
Yeah.
And then how big that is compared to that. Oh yeah, this was in Scotland or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, UK.
In your UK.
Yeah.
It was a picture which had for decades been consigned to the realms of modern myth until it was finally rediscovered and released to the public in August of 2022. That's when we were talking about it.
Yep.
The photo, which appeared exactly as been described by those who had seen it, was found in the hands of a former RAF press officer by a team led by academic and journalist Dr. David Clark. But while the photo, often held as the best ever UFO photo, was found, the mystery still remains. What exactly was the object in the picture and who took it? Dr. Clark has now revealed to The Sun online they have their strongest lead to date, that this object may have been a piece of highly top secret experimental U.S. tech. This is based on the testimony of a former UK defense intelligence officer who revealed, unprompted, that he was tasked with investigating the incident at Calvine. The team are now releasing his bombshell account of what the object may be as they continue to search for the photographer who took the picture. And they are urging anyone with information of the man named Kevin Russell, whose name appears handwritten on the back of the original print of the photo. Kevin could be the final piece to the puzzle.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy, huh?
Uh-huh.
I hope that's fucking real, dude.
Yeah.
But if that is tech, I mean, dude, they got shit that we don't even fucking.
Yeah.
Well, this is, I mean, we've talked about this before. It's maybe the crash Roswell say did happen. And if they are reverse engineering all this shit, dude, we got shit we can't even imagine. Maybe that gimbal thing you just showed, right? Who knows?
Yeah, looking glass technology. You know, Bob Lazar talked about multiple projects that killed people. That's the other thing. Like, if this ever comes out to be all true, the people that lost their lives and their family was told that they died in an accident or something, you know, that's gonna be crazy.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like if there was a guy that, you know, Bob Lazar talks about how before he got signed on, a guy lost his life trying to figure out what the propulsion was in one of the things, and he pressed something and it fried him instantly.
Oh,
you know?
damn.
Yeah. So, you
Yeah,
know,
what the
people
fuck?
dying of you know, because basically all it is a nuclear bomb being created and used as, you know, propulsion, and it's crazy stuff. So
Pretty much anti-gravity.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Word. Well, that is a wrap on the UFO report. I guess we could start the exclusive content, or what? You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, make sure you guys jump on over to the Rumble show. I will drop the link in the live chat. Sign up on go take a look at the Bogcast on Rumble. Rumble.com/the Bogcast, I believe is what it is.
Also, if you are an exclusive member to the YouTube channel, you will still be able to watch this. Just for a quick explanation, the reason why we do this is because we've been getting strikes, you know, because of YouTube's guidelines are really strict right now. We like just to be uncensored and kind of be more ourselves, and we can do that on Rumble and with the membership content. So we are going to switch over. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you on Rumble or Discord or one of these other mediums. So make sure you're subbed up.
Oh yeah. And while we do that, I'm gonna go use that time to run downstairs and grab my cannabis.
And I have to take a piss, so we will be right back. Just we'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right. We'll see you on Rumble.